If Bill Maher is waking up, that means the entire Democratic machine is losing its grip on reality. And they know it. You guys gotta check this video out.
What's up guys, it's Benny. I want to be very realistic and set the table for this video. I'm not a Bill Maher fan. I don't believe that Bill Maher is MAGA, right? That's called red pilling and it's not true. I also don't believe that Bill Maher just hates us and hates Trump and will always just be a brain dead lib. Like that's black pilling. That's also not true. What's happening right now with Bill Maher is white pilling, meaning Bill
Exactly.
Maher is just simply
Really quick, guys, I'm sorry to pause it so early, but this right here tells you it's not left versus right anymore. Like, read what he said. It's not left versus right anymore. When professional liberals are starting to wake up, that is basically the sheep waking up to the wolves. That's exactly what it is. Let's keep going, guys. Make sure liking the video. Leave a comment if you've been appreciating the videos. It really helps me out. Let's keep going.
opening up his eyes and recognizing the world around him and calling balls and strikes. And it's kind of a beautiful thing to see somebody with just some intellectual honesty engaging in good faith arguments, bringing in a ton of people from a ton of different backgrounds and having challenging conversations. Maybe you'll agree with it, maybe you won't. But you kind of get that Fetterman vibe where it's like, at the very least, like they're trying to see the world like without the sort of broke brain NPC mindset programming. And it's a good thing, right? I think that we're being honest about that. The guy went and had dinner with Trump. Again, he didn't leave with a red hat sewn to his head. And he didn't leave by setting the White House on fire, right? It's like kind of good, like middle ground. Anyway, the point is that I really appreciate the guy's going on a journey and he's taking us along with him. And a lot of people are paying attention. And that's a good thing. Bill Maher straight up
Listen,
telling CNN the Democratic Party not only is stupid, their ideas are going to destroy the party. He doesn't believe that he is a Democrat anymore. Listen to this.
So I'm going to call it out wherever I see it. I mean, there are things that have to do with, gender and race and free speech and just ideas about, you can be healthy at any weight and gender is always a social construct and maybe we should give communism another try and maybe we should get rid of capitalism and the border patrol and let's tear down statues of Lincoln and get rid of the police. Just, no. It's not that I've gotten old. It's that your ideas are stupid. Okay?
that right there, guys, that is it. Frame that and put it up in every college dorm. The party of tolerance has now become the cult of crazy. And Bill Maher finally said it out loud. Let's keep going, guys.
You can see the uncomfortable smirking smug on the CNN anchor's face. This was something that Bill Maher said just a few months ago, but this is something that Bill Maher said just this week that has also really struck a nerve. President Trump has changed Bill Maher, man. I'm telling you. Bill Maher corrects guest that says that he left the Democrat Party. He said he was never there to begin with. Late night host stunned the internet by saying he's not a woke supremacist and a member of the most intolerant party in a savaging of the Democrat Party. Bill Maher says he never left the Democrat Party because he was never there to begin with. I never was a Democrat to begin with, says Bill Maher during his podcast released with actor Asai Morales. Never heard of him. I always liked caucused with the Democrats. I generally voted for them. But Bill Maher said that he was not a member of the Democrat Party and that he thought that there was a day when the Democrat Party was not as insane as the Republican Party. I think I always vote for them, but I always look at it as like, no, I'm gonna actually make up my mind. They just always are less scary and insane than the Republicans. But I wait for a day that that evens out. Well, maybe the day is now because Bill Maher is having dinner with Donald Trump, right? Here's the shock clip that has sent the internet screaming, especially a lot of Bill Maher's fans. And I have a thought on this. Here we go. All right, this is the clip that that lit the internet on fire. Bill Maher suggests Democrats are getting too crazy, and he's going to vote Republican. I was never a Democrat to begin with.
We as human beings are extremely contradictory.
Oh, well, of course.
Okay. So for me, political parties, like I'm too old for parties now. I love when you said I didn't leave the Democratic Party, the party left me.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. I heard you say that.
No. I didn't.
What did you say? I heard you say that,
What
Bill.
you're doing, which is not wrong, is you're conflating what people have said in the past about leaving parties with
But I recall saying that.
wait. I know me better than you know.
I don't know.
I'm just going to tell you. You're putting a title on and an actual quote on something that somewhat accurately expresses my point of view. I understand why you said, but I never said that because I never was a Democrat to begin with. I always caucused with the Democrats, and I generally vote for them. I think always vote for them, but I always look at it and no, I'm going to actually make up my mind. They just always are less scary and insane than the Republicans. But I wait for the day when it evens out. We're approaching that because they have gotten crazier, and that's a lot of what you're referencing. But I never said I left the party because I wasn't there to begin with.
Well, you said something similar.
Every day he was bashing Trump on his show. That's what I don't like, man.
Very similar. I'm telling you, you have the general feeling right, but not that exact quote and not that exact feeling because it's more than party. It's more like left and right.
Yeah.
The language changes, and I'm sorry, but woke got to be an eye roll. It wasn't originally, but it got to be an eye roll for every crazy, way too far left, non-commonsensical bullshit.
My favorite term was woke supremacist. I love that because
you made that up?
No, I saw that and I thought this is brilliant.
Well,
somebody is a woke supremacist pretending to be all what's the word, tolerant, and they're the most intolerant sometimes.
They really are.
And they want to cancel people at the drop of a hat. I'm like, that's somebody's living. You're relax, The point I was trying to make was why I've always identified with the Democratic Party, and I still identify as a liberal at heart. At heart,
I voted for her.
You know what my definition of liberal is? Is someone who wants to change the status quo for the better. You're liberate.
Exactly. Liberals used to be about progress, right? Now they're about pronouns and burning down statues and doing everything to make sure Trump gets all the hate in the media. That's what I'm noticing, guys. Let's keep going.
Yourselves from
what I always say to the
conservative is someone who wants to conserve what works, what's good, and I think we need to do both.
To the super woke?
Tell me.
We voted for the same person. You're just why she lost.
Ooh.
What? Knife? You're saying I put the knife in, right?
No, but it's truth.
I love to put the knife in.
No, but you do. But I haven't always.
For it. Absolutely wild. And here's the thing I'd say about this with Bill Maher is he actually is putting something at risk by doing this. Bill Maher has a lot more to lose than he has to gain because he had a really solid left-wing audience. And Bill Maher is putting that at risk by going on sort of this journey of realization politically. And instead of taking the easy paycheck and just repeating NPC talking points, he's actually, I think, doing his best to try and figure out this current political landscape because he doesn't quite know where he fits in it. So the easy path out is just take the talking points, right? You go watch The View every single day. You can listen to the talking points. Go turn on the MSNBC or CNN. You hear the talking points. What Bill Maher is doing is he's challenging them. And it's a beautiful thing. And then he's challenging the real broke brains. So when you see him up against the end stage, the final boss of that movement, which is degenerate Sean Penn here with his taped up sneakers, it's incredible. Bill Maher gutting at Sean Penn. Sean Penn made fun of Bill Maher for having dinner with Trump. And Bill Maher, just guts him like a pig. Here we go.
I have not been invited. The only reason I would not accept an invitation is because I see no, it's a long flight. And I see no.
Really? You'll meet with fucking
I don't think
Castro and Hugo Chavez, but not the President of the United States?
Yeah, I saw good results come out of some of those things in terms of agendas that I had. I don't think that there's anything that I would, I just personally wouldn't trust anything that was said in the room, including the personality.
It's not a matter of trusting it. It's a matter of seeing it, a matter of experiencing, a matter of knowing it.
Yeah, it's
more knowledge. It's like saying I don't want this medical test because I don't want to know. I want to know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
I have some good friends that are on.
I said this many times
Work
within the
close to me.
piece when I did it, that like it's up to. I'm just giving you the report. It's up to you to make the decision. Who do you think is the real guy? I'm telling you, there's a very different guy behind closed doors in a different setting. Now,
or capable of performatively
yes,
being that. Yeah.
well, one of the either, well, my my friends who believe in astrology would say he's a Gemini. Of course, there's two of them. Okay, that's one way to look at it. Other people will say, well, the real guy is the guy you met, and he's playing this clown on TV. And other people will say the reverse. He's a well. I mean, it seems harder to do the reverse. I mean, can you really pretend to be sane? You can pretend to be insane. I think it's harder to pretend to be sane, to be measured and like all the things I said, which is just what happened.
Mhm.
So again, there's three parts of this. Would you go to the dinner? I think you're crazy not to want to see up close the person who's this important in everybody's lives for the last decade.
I
Two, are you
completely
going?
understand that.
Two, are you going to lie about it? I'm sorry, I'm not a liar. I don't lie, so I told the truth. And then three, do I go back to doing what I always did? Yes, I did.
Yeah, but you could have told more truth, or you could have told less truth.
I told
I'm
a
just
lot of
saying,
truth. I told everything.
I would have enjoyed a little more brevity on that. But I absolutely understand the
But
dinner
that's just
arguments.
emotional. You were just triggered.
It's possible. It's possible. It's true that.
But I
For
would
some
like to.
reason, this particular president triggers me rather often.
Exactly. He makes.
Bill Maher didn't swallow the red pill. He finally took off the blindfold. He's realizing Trump 2024 isn't just about revenge. It's about reality. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, please. And let me know what you react to. We're out.